Hello folks, Truckman80 here. I know it's going to be exciting, but it's that time of year again, folks. It is almost football time upon us once again, and it's going to be an exciting year. I'm going to get all four things off my chest here. I'm going to give you the 2010 Alabama Sports Writers season poll has just been released, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on the top 10 teams here. I'm going to start off the bottom here. And I know I'm going to say this first and foremost. There are 64 hungry teams that would like a crack shot at this from the North and South that would like to contend with the big teams that have gone there year in, year out. And I'll get to that in just a few minutes as we get there, so bear with me. So we'll get there. But I know there are a lot of teams out there who would like to get there, but it's very difficult on 6A. It's very competitive football year in, year out. I have watched a lot of 6A football, and I've gone to a lot of games. So I know it's something that you got to really keep up with. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you know, it's like the SEC, and you know, Region 6 is a very competitive region, and they got 4 teams in here, 3 teams out of that region in the poll, which don't surprise me. That might make another deep run at the playoffs, and rightfully so. Okay, without further ado, let's go over this poll here. They have voted number 10, the Clay-Chalkville Cougars, out of Clay, Alabama. That's north of Birmingham here, not about 30 minutes from here. It's north of Hewitt-Trussville area. So they are out of Region 7. They were second in their region last year. They had a record of 8-3, and they only got 58 votes. They think that they're going to extremely do well this year. They might have a little push to they might do better than their first round in the playoffs last year when they got blown out by Florence. They might have a nice run, but they're going to have to contend with somebody, which is in this poll here, that's out of their region. We'll get to that in a minute. Number 9, the McGill-Toolen, they Tigers? Or what? I think that's what they are. Or 30 dozen, that's what they are. That's what they're called. They always known for their volleyball. They were 7-4 last year. They got 64 votes, and I think they did extremely well in the playoffs last year. I'll have to look at their statistics, and I'll give you an overview of each region later on in another video. Bob Jones Patriots, the largest high school in Class 6A. They had a great year last year, a turnaround of sorts. They were pretty much up there to the quarterfinals. They hang the toe with these guys. They gave these guys a game. And October 28th is going to be a game on Thursday night, just before Halloween. It's going to be playoff implications. Playoffs start the week after that. That is going to be a must game to watch in the North region. It might be another meeting between these two again. And I'm thinking that's what might happen. That's my kind of assumption, because we got a great game for our money's worth last year. Okay, 7, Auburn 13-1. They received 148 votes, and that team was awesome last year. They made it to the semifinals against Prattville last year. They almost had this game. They gave Prattville a run for their money. They almost had a perfect season. They were almost there in Tuscaloosa with these guys last year. They almost had a crack shot at it too. And they'll play Spain Park in the Champions Challenge, and for this game don't count nothing, but it's just a preseason game, so it should be exciting. And Spain Park is ranked 6th, so that should be a great matchup between 2 top 10 teams of kind of 2 different divisions in North and South Alabama, which will be exciting to watch. That I'm looking forward to seeing that game. That really does seem like it will be interesting to see how far they will go this year. And Spain Park was 10-3, by the way. They had 170 votes. They got to the quarterfinals against this team that's ahead of them, Gadsden City, which made it all the way to the semifinals against these guys on my shirt here. I'll tell you about them in a minute. They were 11-3. They got 216 votes. They might win that Region 7 title with Clay-Chalkville. They'll contend for it. I mean, I know they will. They just feel like they were there last year. They almost were. These two were. Gadsden City almost made a run through it, but they got blemished 35-0 by this guy. Do a lot of these guys. And the team that disappointed, and I'm not surprised, I don't know why they're ranked 4th, and they didn't really show nothing in the playoff by winning the Region 6 there, the Vestavia Hills Rebels. And They finished 9-2 last year and lost to Minor in the first round and got 243 votes. And I don't see how you can put Vestavia up there. And you may want to put them down a little bit because they didn't win a state championship. Hands down, they're always a respectable team to vote for. I mean, I guess that year in year out they think they're going to be competitive for a state championship, but they didn't even make it to past the first round, and they won the region by beating these guys in a game that I don't even think was poorly officiated because they cheated in the game. And I'm not saying anything against anybody here, but that game really is on low down. I mean, didn't even hurt nothing for the team that went on to win the state championship. Davison is ranked third with a record of 10-3 with 247 votes. They got a great run last year. They made it all the way to the quarterfinals against Prattville and had a very tough. They gave Prattville another tough game. Besides Auburn in the semifinals, they gave Prattville all they could handle with a score. Well, they didn't win the game, but Prattville won the game 10-7 and went on to the state championship to face you-know-who. So, and that really, Davison and the Warriors, they might surprise you this year. They might. I kind of doubt it, but they might have another push to the playoffs. They seem to be pretty content with what they do in that Region 1 down there. They'll contend for that title down there in Mobile. That team might surprise a lot of folks. And now we're getting down to our number 1 teams. Now, folks, I want to say something. These two teams have been the most dominant teams in this decade, the last 9 or 10 years in high school classification of 6A football. And I mean, they're just these other 64 teams. They're going to have to really prepare themselves to face these guys. These two teams have done a lot more than you think they can handle. I mean, it's a year process. You got to be ready for these big games for the state championship. They will probably be at Jordan-Hare Stadium in December. You know, Prattville's ranked 2 this year. They did not succeed in defending their championship and didn't get it for a 4th time. They were 12-3 last year. They received 319 votes. Don't expect Prattville nothing more to compete and win Region 4 and make another deep run at the state championship this year. Against my number 1 team, the Hoover Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are loaded this year. They seem to repossess what they always have done, and they always know how to get there. They seem to really have the tools and ingredients to know. They got a quarterback coming back. He's a senior this year. He's going to be great this year. He's an excellent leadership, and he'll get him back there. I would probably think that's what my prediction is going to be, but anything can happen between now and the next 2 or 3 months to this state championship game. I mean, there are a lot of hungry teams and a lot of contenders out there would like to get there. And with a lot of national rankings there for Hoover, they're on top 10 list of ESPN polls or Max Prep rankings. They're ranked pretty high. I haven't heard anything on the USA Today poll, but don't expect nothing more or less because Prattville wants revenge on this game. They want it back, but Hoover's going to probably hang on to it. I mean, they seem pretty confident they'll get there, and they find a way to get there. They know how to play the game. So I mean, if you're going to compete in Region 6, it's going to be Hoover and Vestavia, the Region 6 title. So Hoover has like a score to settle with them because Vestavia gave them their only loss last year, and that game was just like I said before, it's poorly officiated. I don't know what happened that day. I mean, Hoover did come back and score 27 points, but they tried everything they had at Vestavia. And Vestavia thought they just took it away from them on Hoover's field at Regents Park tonight. I wasn't there, I was on vacation, but I heard about it. And I tell you what, it just could have got better. But Hoover went on to do what they always do, take care of business and win second in the region and went on to win the state championship and beat Prattville. For the first time since 2005, they won a state title, and they did an awesome job of getting back there and taking care of Prattville because no other team had done that. Prattville had won 52 straight state title, 52 straight in-state games in the state of Alabama competition. Prior to that, Hoover just really showed up that night. I mean, that was just a hell of a game, folks. I mean, it really put Hoover back on the map and everything, and Hoover got all the respect back that they need to deserve for the national respect of the country. I mean, and we've been there so many times in a row. These other teams that are receiving votes, Florence 33, 9-3 last year. The Falcons are pretty good this year. They might contend Bob Jones for that title. Enterprise 7-4, 31 votes. Daphne 6-7 last year, 7 votes. That's nothing to say. Daphne's not been like they have been in the last couple of years. They've been out of sync. The Homewood Patriots might have a better year. They might make the playoffs. They're in our Region 2 and Region 6 with Hoover, so And Fairhope, they didn't even crack the top 10 either because they were 11-1 last year, and they were up there in the top 10 last year. They're like the top 5 teams in the state. And Oxford, 8-3. See, there's some teams in there that should be in here, but they're not getting. Well, I hope somebody. I mean, we're going to have a great year this year, and I'll cover my Crimson Tide football. And I'll give you breakdowns of the Hoover games on here. But it's going to be a great year. In a couple of days, I'll give you my college football poll, my thoughts, the SEC things. You know, it's going to be a great year for anybody that wants to really compete with these guys too, because they want to hold on to that national championship this year and repeat. So I mean, we'll see. We will see. It's going to be exciting. Can't wait. And look forward to it. Any questions, comments about this, just comment and subscribe. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I work a full-time job, but just bear with me. I will get back with you as soon as I can. So if you have anything to say, just hit me up. I'll be more than happy to respond to you. Take care. This is TrekMan80. Peace out and go Bucks.